What's happening? This your boy Chauncey Clyde, a.k.a. Chauncey Clyde approved. It ain't approved until I sign off on that move. And I'm kicking it with my boy Vigalantee at t.i.l.i.i'z. T.i.l.i.i'z. Yeah!
What's up, Peps?
What's up, Lejo?
Shit, chilling.
I can't call it. Shit.
Yeah, man. What you got cracking lately, man?
Shit, really, I got some snooters coming over to the house. I was gonna tell you that I paid you earlier. You didn't call back, though.
Oh, shit, yeah. I'm up in this motherfucker posted, man. Trying to get my paper right, man.
Shit, ain't we all? Shit.
Yeah, we can hook up with them later on tonight, though, man. Let me just stack a little bit, though.
Word. That sound cool. Call me when you ready, though. I'm gonna melt out, dawg.
Bet,
Stay
I get
up.
with you, man.
Peace, nigga.
Get my motherfucking hustle on, man.
I gotta be making a profit, so I'm sitting up in this house. Cause there's money to be made, fuck the raid, they'll get sprayed. I sell about an ounce every day by myself. 9 in my pants with an AK on the shelf. I'm keeping it that way because I'm ready for the jack. So if they take my 9, I got the AK in they back. So don't be fucking with me and everything will be kosher. I just sit back and make my pockets fat off these smokers. I keep on giving them rockets and they keep on giving me profits. I say fuck the coppers cause the coppers, they can't stop it. They always in my hood and they flash and they lights. But I don't trip on undercovers cause I don't sell the whites. I always thought that only white people turned you in. But if I ever get back in the game, I'll think again. So listen cause there's a lesson to be learned from Lejo, kid. I'ma ask you what you gonna do, and here's what I did. I'm at the spot on a Friday all alone. It's the first of the month, so you know my profit zone. Ask me, am I making money? What, nigga? Plenty. 6-400 back to back, fuck up 20. Smokers come to me, giving up they whole checks. I even got smoking hookers trying to give me sex. But I don't want they sex, cause I don't want AIDS. The only thing I want with AID in it is pay. So now let's get back to the story in hand. I heard it knocking, open the door, but I don't know this man. He said 3 for 50 and I said, I don't know ya. Then he said, Luther said you got some Fiola. So then I started thinking Luther is my best customer. I know he wouldn't snitch cause he used to be a hustler. Then I showed some pieces and the nigga said I'll take them. He handed me a 50 and said assalamu alaikum. Before I hit my dope I shut the shade so he can see me. And then went to the restroom so I could take a wee wee. I had a funny feeling run down my back in this hole. I went into the living room and looked out of the window. A car pulled up and then a van came right behind it. I grabbed my guns and left the door cause I don't think they'll find it. Hit the back door and then I heard a cop running through. Then he said freeze. So yo, what am I gonna do? If I get caught on this run I do much time cause I got an AK-47 plus 9. Then I had a flashback of Rodney and I thought a lesson to be learned from Rodney King is don't get caught. Then I kept on running and the copper started capping. So then I turned around and hit the ground and shot back at him. I hit him in his chest but I don't think he's dead cause they got a vest that'll stop most lead. By this time a couple of more cops are coming toward me. Then I closed my eyes and I said, oh Lord, see if I get caught. Then just say another nigga whistle. God please help me get out of this one predicament. I'm back on my feet once again. There ain't no stopping me. Since I tried to dig a pit, the cops are free to pop at me. Running for my life all because of some damn crack. Then I felt about 4 bullets hit me in my back. Fell to the dirt hard, but I'm still alive. And the next cop I see, I'm hitting right between his eyes. I'm almost dead, so I yell, come and get me. But if I go to hell, I'm taking somebody with me. I heard somebody coming, I'ma shoot him, but instead I turned around, he got me in my head, now I'm dead. Just hopped up in the spot, so the block like stitches. About 4.5 ounces, chopped it down to .6s. The haters on the block that started hating cause they sick of this. New niggas selling so much dope that it's ridiculous. Early every morning, smokers line to the curb. Made a quick profit and went and bought half a bird. Keep a couple bad bitches at the house getting perved. And now I'm on dating wire wheels when I swerve. 9 ounces away, but 4.5 down to pieces. That's the other for the drop because the season price increases by the 2,000 vet with no payments or leases. And 10 carat tennis bracelets for all my nieces. Rolling, 700,000 is what I'm holding. Most of these motherfuckers think my vet's stolen. But I ain't seen nothing cause my pockets keep growing. I'ma be up in the range by the time it starts snowing. Got niggas on my payroll in 3 different counties. A bitch and a baby's mama to work for the bounties. Don't keep nothing but killer niggas around me. Committed my first murder when a nigga tried to drown me. Got a 10-bird package, now I'm about to bubble. 150-man army, you don't want no trouble. Put an engine in my phone to make it feel like a shuttle. When 22's on the back of my 50 BMW. From here to Sacramento, I be putting it down. Got keys in the wall, money hitting the ground. Try to get as far rich as I'ma split your crown. 1999, Nino Brown. Only nigga with a Continental T in my town. My house is so big, I got a lost and found. Next owner of the station, casino bound. 19 1999 Nino Brown. I'm having dinner with this new plug I'm supposed to meet. Call my brother Maul, ride with me, bring some heat. Screw the silencer on so we can keep it discreet. But if everything does go right, we gon' rule the streets. Met him in the plaza, we on big stakes. He asked what it takes, about 20 cakes. If you can't give me that, we each costing about 8. We can roll right now, not pay for the plates. Hold on, young fellas, what he said to me. You woofing like you got more bread than me. I know you the 99 Nino Brown. We can work out something, just sit on down. We continued to eat and he began to talk. Had to break out my pen so I wouldn't get lost. Started speaking on all this $1 million shit that he flossed. Since 1979, he ain't thought about the cost. Came up with a deal better than I planned. 50 kilos for 250 grand. And hooked me up with his accountant Joanne. Told me that he would make me $1 million man. I left the restaurant with a lot on my mind. Me and my bro never went home. We rolled till 9. Wondering, was this nigga cool or was he the swine? Well, let's start right here. If he fake, then he dying. From here to Sacramento, I be putting it down. Got keys in the wall, money hitting the ground. Trying to get as far rich as I'ma split your crown. 1999 Nino Brown. Only nigga with a continental T in my town. My house is so big, I got a lost and found. Next owner of the station, casino bound. 1999 Nino Brown. From 700,000 to 3.8. He gave me clientele in about 3 more states. 50 keys at my disposal, you ain't gotta wait. Bustin' serves in the Jaguar SVA. Untouchable Kingfisher KCK. Racing 360 Medinas, it's how we play. Smoking on the best endo every day. Keep it stashed in the back of a black Stingray. Stay in Miami Beach because I stay on the kick. Any bitch that wanna spend the night with me got a lick. Fuck just sucking, gotta take the nothing to thick. And I don't just accept penny, bitch, I take my pick. I don't fuck with you if you ain't worth 500 grand. I had 2 cases and beat them like a drummer can. My house is on 60 acres that look like Wonderland. Gotta recognize where I'm from, little nigga, I'm the man. Went to war with a couple clicks, killed them dead. Got 17 spirits floating in my head. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, don't see nothing but red. And all them camera noises that I keep hearing the feds. My brother keep on telling me to go to the Bahamas. Because he thinks the one time it's just a step behind us. Let him get off our trail and get hot on the other timers. But my mama say pack up going, don't ever let them find us. From here to Sacramento, I be putting it down. Got keys in the wall, money hitting the ground. Try to get as far rich as I'ma split your crown. 1999 Nino Brown. Only nigga with a continental T in my town. My house is so big, I got a lost and found. Next owner of the station, casino bound. 1999 Nino Brown. I say fuck the world and on the hustle I go. I'm worth $6 million, but I need one more. And I should be able to make that in 30 days or so. Then we on our way to Alvarado, Mexico. I got cash passports and a great disguise. My clique got a new boss, I done told my guys. I'm thinking that I'm about to roll, but to my surprise, the next morning I woke up with 10 guns in my eyes. The one times got me using tapes and film. I'm in there on the toilet stool throwing up phlegm. Without the ice and the tight white shit gets dim. They saying give him a plug, it's either me or him. All the dope that I done sold, they got 40 years on me. And my people ain't got nothing but shit it is for me. All the cash that I had to store it in the ad money. They used to keep my head up and smile, but ain't nothing near funny. Locked up in this bitch and I ain't seen my son. If I found a way out of here, all my life I'll run. But until then I'ma work on 25-inch guns and hope that I can die before my time gets done. They handed me some paper, my signature at these is everything they asked me. Nino agrees, I threw the pen in his face. Don't bring that shit to me. Y'all better give me my time and chalk me up as a G. From here to Sacramento, I be putting it down. Got keys in the wall, money hitting the ground. Trying to get as far rich as I'ma split your crown. 1999 Nino Brown. Only nigga with a continental T in my town. My house is so big, I got a lost and found. Next owner of the station, casino bound. 1999 Nino Brown. From here to Sacramento, I be putting it down. Got keys in the wall, money hitting the ground. Trying to get as far rich as I'ma split your crown. 1999 Nino Brown. Only nigga with a continental T in my town. My house is so big, I got a lost and found. Next owner of the station, casino bound. 1999 Nino Brown.
What up, people? It's time to tell it like the t.i.l.i.'z. And what you heard was Story to Tell and 1999 Nino Brown by the legendary Lejo Green, as we know him, but y'all know him as Lejo, one of the legends in Kansas City, Kansas for sure, and Kansas City, Missouri, because he worked on both sides. You know him for Tech-9, and you know him for just being a consistent rapper out there doing his thing. He could tell story, he could spit fast, one of the originators. We're going to talk about that later on with him. I got a 3-part series with him, and I'm giving y'all part 1 of Lejo, because I think it's very important. My mission is to make sure rappers get their respect, because as rap changes and switches up, people tend to forget history. And my point is not to let people forget what history is. And he's one of the kings of Kansas City. No doubt about it. No debating at it. No debating at all. So he can. You ever watch him do live shows? He definitely can do live shows as well as have dope music. So he's one of the ones that's rare that he can come across on CD as well, live on stage. So that's Lejo, y'all. And we talked about music and how radio stations don't really support local artists. So it wouldn't not trying to be on a 103 Jamz bash, but I am, because you know Vigalantee brings the drama. But it wasn't about drama. He was very candid about the things that he saw that was going on in Kansas City when it came to supporting artists. And we had a great conversation about that. And I'm going to let y'all hear what we talked about. And mind you, I called him, you know, in a rush. So we did the part one. It's kind of at the end, it kind of gets kind of shaky. I thought I heard him, but I couldn't hear him, but he was speaking. So at the end, don't pay no attention to that, but this is a good interview, y'all. And we got more because we're going to talk about the tech situation. We're going to clear a whole lot of things up, y'all. So we're going to go to the Lejo interview right now. So I call him on the phone, and you know how it is. We record the conversation because he's down in Tampa. And so you're going to hear all that stuff in there, but I want y'all to understand this interview, so let's get to it. And let me tell y'all something. I told y'all it's a revolution going on right now. We're gonna make it another way to get the artists out, to promote their music and everything. That's what we're doing at t.i.l.i.i'z. So know that we're doing something different. We ain't begging nobody. We coming through the door and we kicking that sucker down. Here's the Lejo interview.
This call is now being recorded.
What's up, y'all? This is Vigalantee for t.i.l.i.i'z, and on the horn, I got the legendary rapper Lejo on the line. What's up, brother?
What's good, man? What's good?
Not much, man. Not much. You know, this is the hip-hop spotlight I've been working on, man. A lot of people give you props for being one of the original fast-spitting MCs. Also, you know, one of the great diss rappers. They made you mad. You know, they gave you, you know, you come out with that heat. But a lot of people don't know about your storytelling ability. I think that it does not get the props it deserves. What do you think about that, bro?
Well, thanks, man. And then let me throw a shout out to you, man, for all that you do for Kansas City hip hop too, man. I appreciate that. Having this station and, you know, the way you support any and everybody and show that type of love that's rare for Kansas City. So I appreciate that. Well, as far as my storytelling, man, yeah, I like it myself. It was kind of, when I do a story, it's kind of like for me, you know what I mean? So I really don't expect a lot of props. You know, I like writing the stories and telling the stories, the Nino Browns, the seldom scenes, the kick-ins, and it's usually some kind of message in it. You know what I mean? People took the Nino Brown and loved it because Nino Brown was balling. But Nino Brown went to prison. You know what I mean? Nino Brown got locked up, you know what I mean? And then it was I had another song on there called The Kick-In, 99, and it was about a young cat hustling. The police kicked in on him, you know, and he got killed at the end, you know what I mean? So there's a message to it, and that's what I really hope people get out of the stories. I hope they get the message out of them rather than just, you know, he was balling out of control, you know what I mean?
And the excitement, yeah. You're very vivid. You're very vivid in how you tell your story and you paint your pictures. So I give you definitely props for that. Now, you've been around and you understand this music scene in Kansas City. You've been around it well enough to know from the highs and the lows of hip hop. How do you feel about with station? I call this the takeover because this, you know, 103, let's just keep it real. 103 have really hurt a lot of states, artists in my opinion. What do you think about that? You know, because I feel that a lot of rappers are frustrated and a lot of them are, trying, you know, to get their stuff on. They did everything we tell them to do and they still don't get played. What you think about that, bro?
I think it's a very unfortunate situation, especially when you can go to, other cities. I'll give you an example. I'm in Tampa, Florida now, and I got a rapper that I mess with down here, and his name is City Boy. And City Boy is extremely hot down here, mainly because radio station plays him, and because the DJs in the radio, inside the clubs play him. We can go to the club, and you'll hear City Boy's label being played, all their music being played for like 30 minutes, back to back to back to back. You know, just straight total support. And I remember years ago when I dropped my first album, my album was out, so it had to be 99 or 2000. I ran into Myron D at the little gas station. And he didn't know me, he didn't know who I was or whatever, but I just asked him, hey man, what does it take for a local artist to get on the radio? Just out of curiosity, because I didn't know. I just had my first CD, just pressed up, so I didn't know, so I'm just asking, what do I need to do? And he came back with, we don't make hits, we play hits. So for me, I was kind of like, well, bro, you got 1 million listeners. At that time, KPRS had 1 million listeners. So how is a local artist supposed to have a hit if the radio doesn't support it and get it out there to those 1 million listeners? So I'm like, y'all not giving us an opportunity to have hits. We got underground classics. Like anybody who knows me knows BROK to the E. Anybody who knows me knows Automatic Lejo. Anybody who knows me knows 1999 Nino Brown. So I got hits. You know what I mean? But at the same time, to have that extra support, and I'll say this, it goes back to what you said. They've hurt so many MCs that the only person that came out and did it real big from Kansas City, as far as hip hop, is Tech-9. And that should tell you something in itself.
Yeah, and the thing is, he had to go somewhere else before they do it too, though. When you think about it.
He went out of town, and they jumped on his bandwagon. That's exactly what he did. You're absolutely right. He was popping in St. Louis. He was popping in Texas. He was popping in Oklahoma before Kansas City even decided to mess with him. So you're absolutely right about that. So,
and he had a disc. Remember, he put out the disc. He put out the disc record saying "Throw Tony G in the river." On their 50 MC compilation.
Yeah. And for a while, he was on. It's the whole industry. You know what I mean?
Exactly. FBI. Yeah. So
but
it takes all of that. And here's the thing. Mind D is from the dot, too. That's what makes it even worse.
Yeah, we went to the same high school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
we went to the same high school. So.
And, even Janelle Monáe, had to go elsewhere to get even props. They don't play her music like that.
Right.
Maybe when she's coming in town.
Absolutely right. And she sung on the track on, we had Misfit on our label, on Mind Blowing label. She sung on one of his tracks back then. But, so she's been doing it for a while too, but like you say, even her, she had to get out of town to do it. And that really sucks because we're an untapped market. There's so much talent in Kansas City that don't nobody know nothing about. One of these DJs here, a radio DJ or a club DJ will actually blow up if they did introduce the world to Kansas City music.
And that's why I'm saying, the DJs are just as bad as the personalities on 103 because the DJs could break up music. I did a show last week saying, you trying to tell me if you're a dope DJ, you can't mix in one of these local rappers' song in the club mix? Come on. Who you think you fool?
Yeah. And see, the problem with that is if these DJs are waiting to get jobs at KPRS, then they're not going to do it. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of their problems are. They're hopefuls and hoping that KPRS decides to pick them up and decides to give them a job. But for me, myself, I think KPRS is hurting us. I think KPRS is just all about getting their own personal money from, from what's being played in the nation. So I don't think that it's a care about the local artists.
And it's big that it's one of the first, black-owned stations, the historical significance of KPRS, you wouldn't think it would be that hard. Even for the underground heat. I don't know this guy named Brian B. Shining, but I hear what everybody else say about him. So I ain't going to judge him from that, but for anything to say underground heat and you still ain't playing underground artists, and normally it's Missouri MCs and not Kansas, it's just to me, let me know that you continue to perpetuate that. I call it Holly Mo and Holly Dot mentality that you're so Hollywood. This is a secondary market, and you would think that they would play, because like you say, St. Louis had a thing called homegrown because we play our own.
Right.
Yeah, and like I say, and so when I look at that, from the minds of the master, when I look at the tracks you had on there, matter of fact, the whole mind-blowing count, lyrically, and different styles MCs along with the other MCs in this city, you cannot tell me. They did all these little conventions and gas people up with what they need to do, and it fell flat. Only a select few, I call it the 103 clique, can even get on the station to play, no matter how good you are.
Right, yeah, and that sucks. And like you said too, I don't know Brian B. Shining, so I can't speak on Brian B. Shining. But
for sure.
I do think that the radio is a great big outlet. And actually not so much anymore. I would like for the young cats now, I would like for the young cats to follow your path. You know, because you got this social media that can touch the whole world, and the social media can actually take you farther than where KPRS can take you farther. So I actually love and applaud you for your approach to it as far as just totally eliminating them and going around them, you know, because if I was still doing it today, that's what I would do, you know what I mean? And later on down the line when KPRS came back to me, hey man, you blew up real big. And then that's like, we had a song called Juicy Booty, me and Chauncey Clyde.
I remember.
and it was popping for the summer, you know what I mean? And we had a guy take it up to KPRS, but we didn't want to tell him who it was, you know what I mean? We didn't want to tell Myron D who it was. So when Myron D first heard it, you know, his first thought was, oh yeah, that'll bang for the summer. You know, that's great, you know, whatever. So give it to me, let me play it. Boom, boom, boom. Found out it was Lejo. Oh no, he say booty too many times. But within the next week, they drop up a Sparks. Booty, 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 booty rocking everywhere. You know what I mean? So it was like, I mean, is it a conspiracy against Lejo or is it a conspiracy against KC? And then I have to say KC because, like you said, they only gonna let a handful of Missouri rappers on, and you ain't gonna hear no Kansas rappers. Period. You know, you only gonna hear a handful of Missouri, but you're not gonna hear Wyandotte County at all. You know what I mean?
And that's the sad thing. I had a hit, you know, an underground hit with starring Buck Wild. It was Ratchet Girl. I went to legitimate channels. I had an agent and everything. My song went and did big numbers. It was played at a lot of college stations. And the guy told me, the agent out of California said, who is this guy named Myron D? I said, oh, he's the one, the guys over at the directors. He said, yeah, we sent your stuff with Bone Crusher, because I was packaged with Bone Crusher and this guy named Raheem Devine. He's like a singer. We all had the same agent. So my song was doing numbers, starring Buck Wild, promoting it all over the station. And he said, well, this guy Vigalantee, we don't want to deal with him. I ain't never, so like I told you, I never ever gave them nothing, but it went to the legitimate channel because the agent said, well, they playing it in Michigan, they playing it here. So we just thought we'd send it to Kansas City because it's playing everywhere else. They wouldn't budge, man. They wouldn't budge on it. And I cracked up. It was funny to me. That's why the takeover's here. And that's why I'm glad to have legends like you on the line with me to let people know that the history of what you've done and MCs like you would not go untalked about. You see what I'm saying? It won't just be around the block that'll know. We're going to send this to the world. Reason for Rhymes, according to hip hop, all those major sites and websites as well as Facebook pages that have over 1 million viewers. That's what we taking in that. That's how we do it. I'm glad to start off my first jump off with the Kansas City Kansas, but to me, legend, period. And that's the whole point. It ain't always got to be from the Bronx or be from other places where hip-hop originality comes out. Because the Midwest got some dope MCs, and you let the path. You got a lot of sons of your style out there. They may be illegitimate. They don't want to claim daddy, but they did. From a historical standpoint, they got no choice. None.
Yeah, that was Lejo. We had fun. That was part one of the interview. We had fun with that. So let's clap it up for Lejo. Yeah, he's getting back on the show for show. We're going to work on part two about Tech 9 and all that good stuff, y'all. Hit me up on Twitter at Vigalantee or hit me up at vigilante@gmail.com, Vigalantee. If you want to know about the interviews and promotional package, hit me up. Just hit me up and we can do business because we do BOBS, business over bullshit, on this station, and we coming at you. We coming at you. We going to change the game right now. Right now. We're going to change the game, and we're going to put our history out there. We're going to promote underground artists in this city. Watch what I tell you. That's right. Well, once again, we told it like a t.i.l.i.'z. Lejo told it like a t.i.l.i.'z. Where can you get an interview like this from Lejo at? I got other artists on deck. Watch how I do this, y'all. Watch the moves I'm making. Fatter That Records, you know it. I'm out. Peace.